Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back to do another video. Wanted to talk about in video form my latest mock draft that went up on Steelers Depot on Wednesday. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can see the full text of that, but to do a quick video to kind of recap those selections in my latest mock draft and the rationale behind it. So wasting no time here with the 49th overall pick, I have the Steelers projected to take Neville, Gallimore, defensive tackle, nose tackle from Oklahoma. Again, these are just speculation. My final mock draft won't come out for a little while now, but wanted to do something different. First time I've had a defensive tackle go this high in one of my mock drafts, and Gallimore's a guy that is kind of a one-to-one replacement for Javon Hargrave. He's someone that is athletic and get after the quarterback, really high motor. That's critical for Pittsburgh. He's not just the old school Casey Hampton type plugger. I think that's really valuable and important to have, especially if you're going to make that investment this early in the draft. Now, some people will say, well, the nose tackle doesn't play enough. You got Hayward traded for Wormley. Fair points, but I look at an AFC North landscape of you're facing Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Baltimore has Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, the best rushing attack in football. Cleveland has Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and even Baker Mayfield, and Cincinnati has Joe Mixon. And they'll probably be running a lot with, say, rookie quarterback in Joe Burrow in 2020. So you play AFC North football, especially in December. Look at Week 17 this past year against Baltimore in the rain and the muck, and you had to run the ball to be effective. You better be able to stop the run. So I think beefing up that defensive line, filling the hole lost by Hargrave, is important. Will Wormley play nose tackle potentially, but I'm not 100% sure. And even if he does, he's in the last year of his rookie contract, and you want to plan for the future as well. And if there's an injury to Tua or Hayward, which has happened in several of the past couple seasons, then you want to have someone that can play in sub-package too. So Gallimore, that blend of getting a nose tackle, someone that can help against the run, but also a new age type guy we can get after the quarterback as well. Very similar profile to Javon Hargrave. At 102 with the Steelers comp pick in round 3. Again, sticking with the trenches this time, offensive side of the football, Tyler Biadasz, a center from Wisconsin. I wrote about it on Steelers Depot. You want to find a good offensive lineman? Get a Wisconsin Badger who grew up on a farm. That's Tyler Biadasz, very James Washington type vibes. Remember, he grew up on a farm in Oklahoma or Texas, wherever it was, as well. And Biadasz, 41 career starts, all at center, blocked for Jonathan Taylor, who had so much success. We talk about running back, and no running back in this mock draft, spoiler alert, but if you're going to talk about running back, Jonathan Taylor is usually the name that comes up for Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and this is a guy that helped block for him. And just 41 starts, I think he's got the size and overall profile to be able to play guard. Obviously, you don't want to be just one position as a backup, so he can play center and play guard. Center's his natural spot, though. So Wisniewski, an important signing, but you're not going to call that a day because you want to get double dip and get some longer term options as well. Steelers have done that in the past with guys like Mark Barron and Devin Bush, for example. Signing Barron did not stop you from drafting Devin Bush. Same with Dante Moncrief, Deontay Johnson. Same with Steven Nelson, Justin Lane. Wisniewski does not prevent this team from drafting any interior offensive lineman, so I go Tyler Biadasz at 102. Round 4, a couple of Texas kids. Brandon Jones, a safety from Texas. Very similar to Cam Sutton in the sense of I think he probably will blow teams away in the interview process. Jones was hit with an injury, could not work out at the Combine, could not work out at the Senior Bowl, wasn't able to attend the Senior Bowl entirely, but it seems like at the Combine he had studied all the playbooks of every 32 teams and knew these defenses and these clubs inside and out. And Cam Sutton kind of had a similar vibe where I really think Tomlin and Colbert drafted Sutton because of that football IQ. And Jones on tape is a strong athlete, takes good angles, versatile, experienced, a really impressive player on tape, and it seems to be very impressive off the field as well. Safety depth is a major concern for Pittsburgh, something they probably will not be able to address in free agency, and there really is not much behind right now Terrell Edmunds nor Minkah Fitzpatrick. So Jones may not be that cure-all because it is a fourth-round rookie, but it certainly is a talented player and going to help address the total lack of safety depth this team has. At 135, sticking in the 4th round, also sticking with another Texas Longhorn. This is a pick that Dave Bryan for Steelers Depot had, I think, in his last mock draft, so I'm going to borrow it here with Devin Duvernay. I think he's that perfect blend of slot and speed. There's a big debate. Okay, you want to draft a receiver. Do you want to find a slot guy? Do you want to find a speed guy? Because you got to have a vertical component to this offense. None of these receivers are particularly fast in terms of, let's say, their 40 time. And I think Duvernay is both. He'll play in the slot, but he runs on the 4-3s. A leader, well-liked, no issues off the field, especially in a draft process where, character concerns and medical stuff are going to be difficult to judge and weigh because of the whole disruption in this pre-draft process. No pro days. You can't bring guys in for visits. It's just been a whole disruption, rightfully and reasonably so, but Duvernay's not going to be any sort of issue there. So I think, again, that perfect blend of slot and speed. Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously, still your starting slot receiver, but, Duvernay's the type of guy they don't quite have on the roster in terms of guys that can play in the slot, win with quickness, and win with that kind of long speed as well. So I really like Duvernay. I think he's good value in the 4th round. Round 6, this one might be a bit of a stretch in my estimation, where he may go higher than this, but I went Alex Highsmith, the outside linebacker from Charlotte. It's totally reasonable to assume and believe and argue that the Steelers are going to draft an edge rusher higher than the 6th round, and I wrestled with this one. Again, we're only dealing with 6 picks in the draft and still a lot of holes to fill. Someone, can't make the cut, but I go Highsmith here, who the team, I believe, wanted to bring in for a top 30 visit. Obviously was unable to, had a FaceTime conversation with him instead, and anytime they look at these smaller school prospects, granted Charlotte is playing FBS, if I'm not mistaken, but still not exactly a Power 5 guy, but anytime they show particular interest in those players, then you should definitely take note of that if you're a Steelers fan. So Highsmith was productive the last 2 years. He's got 47 tackles for a loss, 21 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. Overall, good size, maybe a little on the light side of 248. There are some concerns about overall physicality in terms of how he looks on tape, but edge is a position that this team is going to address. Certainly, again, could address this higher than the 6th round. Bud Dupree under the tag for 2020, but his long-term future is still in question, and I think you want to have competition behind Dupree and TJ Watt with Denier and Tuzar Skipper still battling it out. Neither guy super proven yet, so I think Highsmith will add that competition to some degree. And then finally, in round 7, I go Joe Bachie, the inside linebacker from Michigan State. You lose Tyler Matakevich, you release Mark Barron. Bachie, obviously not going to be a perfect one-to-one replacement, but super productive with Sparty, almost 300 tackles, ran a 4.67, which is serviceable enough when you're talking 7th round. He did get suspended at the end of his, senior season it was, and that is a bit of a concern, but he was a captain, I think regarded well in that locker room. He argues he was suspended for an over-the-counter thing that he had taken before. Is that an excuse? Maybe, probably. But it is 7th round. You're probably more comfortable sticking your neck out on maybe an issue off the field in the 7th round as opposed to, say, pick number 49. So Bachie just kind of feels like that next Tyler Matakevich. Hopefully, ideally, where he can become a good special teamer. And not great size at 6'1", 230, but honestly, profiles pretty similarly in terms of size and overall, makeup to Vince Williams, who feels like a big guy, but he was like 233 coming out of Florida State. So Bachie actually has a very similar overall profile in terms of frame as Vince Williams. So is this perfect? No, you can argue it. No tight end here. I'm sure people will yell at me about running back, but that is my mock draft. Again, you can check the link in the description and check it out on SteelersDepot.com. But not my last mock. I'll probably have at least 2 more before April's draft, but wanted to kind of throw this out there. Get your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in this mock draft. Again, we go Gallimore in the 2nd, defensive tackle, Biadasz, the center, in round 3, Brandon Jones and Devin Duvernay, the safety and receiver from Texas, in round 4, Alex Highsmith, outside linebacker from Charlotte, in round 6, and Joe Bachie, the inside linebacker from Michigan State, in round 7. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.